Hello. Earlier this week at my Patreon community of Negotiation Unleashed, and it's called Elizabeth Suarez, I shared a video that identified the top tactics you need to take in order to negotiate for that job of your dreams, or even negotiate for the consulting gigs or the new clients you want. The video was full of ideas on how you prepare your message, on how you even prepare those answers to the questions that anybody may ask when they're looking for a job, etc. I even stated as one of the tactics was to, hey, take a step back, even if you get the job or get the gig, and figure out if you really want this. So, these tactics, I have to admit it to you, it's nothing new. You can Google them and they come up. So, it's nothing new what I was sharing in the video. However, it's a great video. So, you can still go to the Patreon page and look at it. However, I can assure you that these tactics work effectively and efficiently 100% if they are implemented correctly. So, today I want to share with you how you should implement these tactics. So, hello, everybody. I'm Elizabeth Suarez, and I am here to take a couple minutes of your time to share how these tactics about getting the new job, getting the new gig, getting the additional clients can effectively be implemented. So, when you do all this work, you get the reward you were looking for. So let's go ahead and start. It's actually two quick steps. The first way is creating your message. And I know we all sit down and create our wonderful messages and we have them perfect and we're ready to go, but we skip one step, the step of vetting these messages with your closest confidants. So I say find one or two closest confidants and vet the messages with them. How can you vet the messages with them? Ask them to answer the following questions after you share the messages with them. One question is, was the message delivered with confidence, but not aggressive that you come across a little bit harsh? The other question is, did my ask come across clearly, like what I was asking for, what I was saying that I wanted to look for in my career? And last, should I modify anything? Interesting enough, I can tell you your closest confidant, even if they are not in your same industry and doing the same job you're doing, because they have not heard these messages, they will be really truthful and look at it from a different perspective. So go ahead and do that. Find one or two people, close confidence, get on that Zoom call with them and practice the messages with them. The second step that you can do in terms of preparing those answers that we all get ready to prepare when we're being considered for the gig or we're being considered for the job offer is basically take some time to identify transition statements or transition phrases. Why do I recommend that? This is what happens. We are asked all these questions while we've been being vetted by a company or being vetted by an organization. And we're just answering the questions very tactical, very theoretical, basically showing all this. But at the end, it seems that we do not make a comparison to basically to the organization to say, I am your candidate. So how do you do that without sounding like obnoxious and coming across like you are rude? There's a couple ways that you can do this with transition statements. One is when wanting to add some relevance to about yourself and about your skills to the answer you gave, you can use a transition phrase that says, also, I have experienced that, and you can go ahead and say how that experience you have can actually complement the answer you gave them. Another way to do a transition sentence or phrase is when wanting to show how your work experience can compare perfectly to the answer you provided, what they were actually looking for. How can you do that? You can make a statement like, in the same way, I have been able to, and there's when you say from a prior job, you have been able to actually execute what you are saying that needs to be executed as the answer to the question. And last but not least, a great transition is doing a contrast to your answer. And this is when you contrast yourself. that you are the right and only candidate for this position. And you can do this by saying at the same time what I have accomplished, and you go ahead and mention one or two things you have accomplished. This is not the time to basically regurgitate everything on your resume. This is a time to only add one or two extremely relevant experiences that you have, that is the icing on the cake based on the answer you have provided. So there you have it. Two quick steps you can do it. The first one is basically vetting those messages that you have created, that they are great messages. And the second one, very important one, is having those transition statements, because we provide all these answers. And guys, you know what happens? We forget to mix it together, to actually glue together that those answers, we are the component, the variable that needs to be in place in order for those answers to happen, the answers those organizations are looking for. So I would love to hear from you if you decide to implement any of these two steps. You can comment below, or you can always contact me at negotiationunleashed.com, or better yet, go to my Patreon page, Elizabeth Suarez. Go and see the video, because there is where I put all the videos that are only seen in my Patreon community. No other place do I show these videos. They're not on my website. They are not on my social media. They are nowhere. They're not on my YouTube channel. They're actually in the Patreon page. Therefore, I want to continue the conversation with you. So next week, we're going to continue talking about jobs, obviously, because we need them. But you know what we're going to talk about? We're going to be talking about how to prepare for the unknown. Even if you got that job, even if you have all the clients you have wanted, something could happen. And how do you prepare for that? So next Tuesday, September 8th, after Labor Day at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, please join me again here, in which I'm going to talk and share with you a couple of ways to how you can prepare. We all have to prepare for this. And then that session is going to be followed with another live session on Thursday, September 10th, 4 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Eastern, in which I'm going to share steps to consider if you are all of a sudden laid off, or you have all of a sudden have lost some of your clients and you need to get new clients. So let's go ahead and keep this conversation going. Comment below, send me a message on negotiationunleashed.com. Come on over to my Patreon page, elizabethsuarez.com. Join the community. And I look forward to hearing from you and continuing the conversation next week. See you next week. Nos vemos. Thank you, everybody, for being here.